I'm really happy to get to speak with you because Randall, I think, is a very interesting character.
Mm.
So when he first comes to the town, what I
Mhm.
found most interesting, considering how antagonistic he becomes, is that he's one of the people who tries to help Jim when Tabitha disappears down the hole. So,
Yeah.
from your perspective as an actor, is he a good guy who's reacting very badly to the town, or is the town merely revealing who he actually is?
It's a very good question. Um, I think I think he has good in him, but I think the expectation that he's reacting badly to the town is probably not so fair to say for somebody like that that's coming. I mean, like if I'm really trying to put myself in Randall's shoes and you come into a town, all this crazy stuff is like it's not real. It's like fairy tale, right? It's not like yeah. I think he's doing the best he can, and I think very quickly the guard will come up when it's the whole trust thing. But I think he's came in on his own, can't lean on anybody else, doesn't trust anybody else for good reason. People start dying, disappearing, whatever. I think I don't know. I think he's reacting how I would probably react, honestly. Like, yeah, yeah.
Very hostile, very
I mean,
antagonistic.
maybe less hostile. I would try and help people, but I don't think I'd be that easy to trust. Because it seems very far fetched to believe right away and just willingly be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just do whatever you say. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
definitely. Well, because acting and bringing a character to life is an exercise in empathy. So, in
Mm.
just a general sense, what is your window of empathy into Randall as a character?
Ooh. Kind of yeah, the sort of his frustration and being isolated in a place like that. And yeah, just sort of being constricted by circumstances that you can't control. Um, yeah, seeing that really is the window to get into it, and then just being self-sufficient or trying to be self-sufficient, that kind of thing, and you've ultimately only got your own back in this life as best you can. You know what I mean? So it's kind of I enter into that way kind of thing, and then the whole antagonistic thing just comes after, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
once he's shown to not work well with others, Donna has
Mm.
him move into the bus. Was
Yes.
he actually happy to have this space of his own, or was he just trying to save face? Because I feel like I saw a whole range of emotions on
Mm.
his face when
Yeah.
he enters the bus and then there's all this blood on the ground, so I couldn't quite gauge. He seems,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an interesting point. I mean, thing is, it's like I think he is quite happy to be away from these people because I think, frankly, they're just annoy the shit out of him. But I think beyond that, it's then seeing the blood, and then it's like it's kind of raising questions. But again, is this just all one big game to him? Is this all just for show? So I don't know. I think he's quite relieved, but at the same time, it just sort of amps up his suspicions where he hasn't really got a moment to like let his guard down. He's just got to be alert at all times.
Hmm.
So it's a bit of a cocktail. Yeah.
So once he's on that bus, and then he has to experience the fun nighttime activities of the
Oh
town,
yes.
and the
Yeah.
monsters come, and
Uh-huh.
he's kind of taunting them almost, especially
Mm.
once they start to leave, which I found to be a very interesting reaction. Was he not does he not believe that he's in danger, or is it denial? Because again, I can't quite get a read on him. Maybe if it's an
Yeah.
ensemble show, there's not a lot of screen time
Yeah, yeah.
to spare, but yeah, I can't quite read what his feelings really were about that
Mm.
encounter.
I think a fair amount of that was his fight or flight and his ego, but I think he's also trying to figure it out still. Because Randall hasn't been there for very long at all, and he hasn't seen anybody change from a townsperson thing to a creature. He hasn't seen any of this, so it's almost like he needs confirmation of like this thing, And as the season progresses, and his sort of theories that sort of come out, you kind of understand his sort of thought process behind that. But yeah, I think Randall thinks he could just deal with it anyway, like creature or not. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a bit of that, bit of bravado, but like I wouldn't want to fight him. I think he's got some problems, man. So
So about a month ago, I spoke with Nathan Simmons, who plays
mm.
Elgin.
They gave me like some pea soup actually, and it was disgusting. It tasted, smelled, and felt like throw up. And so AJ was a trooper because I kept telling him, man, listen, I may throw up on you for real. He was like, it's all good, bro, man. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
Oh, that's his real accent.
that's his real accent. Yeah. He's gonna hate that I did that. But yeah, that's
You two had a very memorable introduction to the show, something
yes.
involving, I believe it was a can of pea soup, is what I believe he
Uh-huh.
said. So
Yeah.
would you care to share your perspective of
Oh.
filming that scene?
That was so. I think it was like the first scene that Nathan and myself we did together, and it was like 36 degrees, you know, like Celsius, not Fahrenheit. It's degree, and we're on this bus. It's old and it's ghetto and it's hot, and we're doing this, and there's lots of people. Oh man, and it was just like tumbling around. And he throws it up on me, and it just reeked, and there's nowhere for the smell to go. So yeah, it was a very visceral experience. To put it that way.
And then finally, I've seen as far as episode 8, which obviously ends with him taking Donna hostage. In just a cryptic way, could you tease a bit about what's to come from how that situation is going to play out? Obviously, you don't have to spoil it, but just a way to get fans excited.
Fireworks.
Nice. Good. Short, concise. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. And it was really interesting getting more insight into your process and your, the whole psychology of the character. Because I think there's a lot to him, maybe beyond just the bravado.
Absolutely. There's layers. It's like an onion,
Of course.
All right.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks so much. See you later.